Ears that pay attention. Now, that quote had come from Matt Fury, and again, he is one of those people I highly recommend you do a Google search on. He's got an amazing inspirational story, something that happened to him in his life, which was a tragic accident, and then how he turned his life around from it. So again, do a search on Matt, you'll find a great story there if you've got some free time on your hands today. Now, as you're probably well aware, if you've listened to any of these podcast episodes, or if you've gone back through some of these videos on YouTube, you will have heard me mention about a family member I was trying to help out with publishing her book. She had come to me with the idea of a book, and she was interested in publishing it, and she had heard that I had, released a couple of books in the Kindle store, so she was asking me how she could publish it. Now, I had given her everything I could over the next 3 or 4 days. I showed her how to come up with book covers, how to look up keywords, how to look and see if anybody wanted her book, and what categories or whatever to pick in the Kindle store. But I showed her everything I knew, and then I didn't hear anything for a couple of weeks, and then I found out then that she took a manuscript to a printer, got a couple of hundred of copies printed off, and they were all now sitting in her garage. And at the time I was really pissed because I had given all that time up. I had, given as much knowledge as I could for free, and it was thrown back in my face. So when I heard Matt's quote about ears that pay attention, that was the big wake-up call for me. Now, if you are somebody who might be in the non-fiction market, or you are a blogger, maybe you're trying to teach somebody a skill, you will find that if you want to make more money, you're going to have to look beyond your book. Now, only easy way of kind of upping your income is to have a training course or some kind of coaching thing as a back end on your book sales. If you imagine maybe your book could be maybe a business card, but when somebody maybe reads it in the Kindle store, you should be directing them to your training course or your coaching, so you can help them put into action what they have learned in your book. Again, how many times have we all gone through a book and then maybe not taken action on it? You might have come to the end of a chapter and would say, answer these questions before you move on to the next chapter. But probably if you were anything like me, you probably have flicked on to the next pages to get into chapter 2, and you haven't actually done the homework, and you say to yourself, well, I'll go back and do them questions when I finish the book. And then when you finish the book, you go off in a different direction, maybe after some other book, but you never actually do the work in it. So even if you do give the best content in a book, don't be surprised if not everybody takes action on it. And again, that is why I highly recommend you have some coaching program or a training program, so you can reinforce and you can force that person to take action. Now, Matt had another piece to that quote: ears that pay attention. But the additional bit to that quote was ears that pay more attention. And again, you will find that people who pay you more money will take more action. And even if you're not in the coaching, or you're not looking to create maybe your own kind of training program from your book, maybe you should take that into your own life and have a look at your own life in the same way. When you have gotten free reports or free books, how much attention have you given to them? Have you even done the work in them, or are they just sitting on your hard drive? And again too, if you have bought maybe a book for $10 or whatever, have you really taken action on that book? Again, have you answered the question? Have you done the homework? Have you done everything that the author has told you that you should do? And then you might be griping saying, well, that book was useless, it didn't help me at all. But at the end of the day, you didn't really pay much attention to it. Whereas maybe if you paid a little bit more, again, if that author had a coaching program or a training course, if you paid them more money, you would pay more attention. So give that some thought today. Not only, if you are dealing with readers or customers, again, stop giving all your best content out there, because as I said, ears that pay attention, ears that don't pay attention. So give that some thought today, not only for your readers and your followers, but also yourself. How much content have you gone through this year, or how much content is sitting on your hard drive that you're not paying attention to because it was free or it had a low value? It's no big deal. You lost $5 or $10 on that book. It's no big deal. Maybe you should have paid more attention to that and kind of dismiss the idea of the value, and put the work that author had spent writing that book into action, and I'm sure you would have got better results out of it. So again, think about what you got your hard drive in the moment. What have you got on your Kindle, in your library, whatever, that is just lying there and that you haven't paid attention to. And keep that motto in mind that Matt had said: ears that pay attention, and ears that pay more attention. So if you'd like to pay more attention to all my content, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and I'll send all the next couple of videos on to you. Or if you subscribe to the podcast, you can find all the kind of back catalogue. You will find it on your podcast listener, whatever you listen to it on your iPhone or whatever. But you'll find that I think there's like 260 episodes. So there is a big catalogue of content you can go back through. Or if you'd like to know what I'm doing at the moment and where I hang out, again, it probably gives it away on the name of this podcast. If you do a search for WriteCome, WriteCome.com, you'll find the content there, and again, you'll find it all over the web. So, as always, thanks for sharing your time again today. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.